Sawing wood. Maintaining consistent thickness when sawing lumber is a fundamental skill for any woodworker, yet it often presents a significant challenge, especially for those new to the craft. So whether you're using a bandsaw, a table saw, or even a handsaw, the ability to produce boards of uniform thickness is crucial for the quality and integrity of your final project. Inconsistent boards can lead to difficulties in joinery, uneven surfaces, and a generally unprofessional finish. This process isn't just about running wood through a blade. It involves a combination of proper machine setup, precise measurement, a solid technique, and an understanding of the wood's behavior. Without this consistency, even the most beautiful piece of lumber can be rendered unusable, wasting both valuable material and your precious time. Therefore, mastering the techniques to achieve uniform thickness is not just a desirable skill, it's an essential one for anyone serious about woodworking. The first and most critical step in achieving consistent thickness is ensuring your sawing equipment is properly calibrated and set up. For a bandsaw, this starts with blade tension. A blade that is too loose will wander, creating a wavy, uneven cut. Conversely, a blade that is too tight can strain the saw's components and is more prone to breaking. You must also check that the blade guides are set correctly, providing just enough support to prevent the blade from deflecting without causing excessive friction. The table must be perfectly perpendicular, or 90 degrees, to the blade. Use a reliable square to check this alignment from both the side and front of the blade. For a table saw, the primary focus is on the fence and the blade. The fence must be perfectly parallel to the blade to prevent the wood from binding or drifting during the cut. An improperly aligned fence is one of the most common causes of inconsistent thickness and dangerous kickback. Finally, ensure your blade is sharp and clean. A dull or resin-caked blade will struggle to cut smoothly, leading to burning rough surfaces, and an increased likelihood of the blade deflecting under pressure. Taking the time to meticulously tune your machinery is the foundation upon which all successful sawing is built. Once your equipment is dialed in, the next phase involves preparing your stock and establishing a reliable reference surface. You can't produce a board of consistent thickness if the wood you start with is twisted, cupped, or bowed. The process should always begin with flattening one face of the board using a jointer. This creates a perfectly flat reference plane. After one face is flat, you need to create an adjacent edge that is perfectly square to that face. This is also done on the jointer. These two perfectly flat and square surfaces will be your guides for all subsequent cuts. If you don't have a jointer, you can achieve a similar result using a hand plane or by building a flattening jig for your router or planer. Without a true flat reference face and a square edge, your board will rock on the saw table or press unevenly against the fence, making a consistent cut impossible. It's an indispensable step that many beginners overlook. But it's the secret to moving from rough lumber to usable dimension stock. With your machine set and your stock prepared, your focus now shifts to the actual cutting technique. The key here is control and consistency in your feed rate. Pushing the wood through the blade too quickly can cause the blade to deflect, especially on a bandsaw, resulting in a cut that is not square. Pushing too slowly can lead to burning and a rougher surface finish. Find a steady, deliberate pace that allows the blade to cut without being forced. Let the saw do the work. Your hands should be positioned to guide the workpiece firmly against the fence and flat on the table throughout the entire cut. Use push sticks, push blocks, or feather boards to maintain this pressure safely, especially as your hands get closer to the blade. Feather boards are particularly useful as they apply consistent pressure against the fence, preventing the wood from drifting away from it. When resawing on a bandsaw, it's crucial to keep the reference face firmly against the fence for the duration of the cut. Any deviation will be directly translated into a variation in thickness. A smooth, controlled, and consistent motion is the physical embodiment of all the preparation you've done up to this point, ensuring that the potential for a perfect cut becomes a reality. Finally, accurate measurement and marking are the guiding principles that tie the entire process together. Measure twice, cut once is a timeless adage for a reason. Use a high-quality measuring tape, a precision rule, or a digital caliper to determine your desired thickness. When setting your fence, don't just rely on the scale built into the saw. as these can often be inaccurate. Measure the distance from the inside of the blade's teeth to the face of the fence. It's often a good practice to make a small test cut on a piece of scrap wood of the same species. Measure the resulting piece to verify that your setup is accurate before committing to your valuable project lumber. When marking your cut lines, use a sharp marking knife or a fine-leaded mechanical pencil to create a precise line. A thick pencil line can introduce ambiguity and error. By combining careful machine setup, proper stock preparation, controlled technique, and meticulous measurement, you transform the often frustrating task of sawing lumber into a precise and repeatable process. Laying the groundwork for high-quality woodworking projects where every piece fits together perfectly. Sawing wood.